Good afternoon again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. What absolute carnage we were kind of witnessing yesterday. My goodness. Hello Zato, Sam Bristol Ground. Welcome. Thanks for ATC today. Rab, living on a player. David, good morning. There go the caterers. Living on a player, Ian as well. Good day to you. Rab, welcome. Gav, good day. Badger, good afternoon. David A, good morning. Welcome to all of you, wherever you are in the world, tuning in perhaps for the first time. It's great to have you on board with us today. For this Boeing 737-800 TUI UK service to Pula. It's a flight that I'd operated on as crew 10 odd years ago, roughly. Of course they have, Sam, brilliant. Convenient. The Pula itself actually became really popular as a tourist destination a long time ago, back when I was working at what was then Thomson Airways, and they were one of the first airlines to in fact fly there and offer it as a destination, certainly from Bristol. So we're kind of recreating that in a way, though it is also a real route now operated still by EasyJet, and more recently as well, until more recently, TUI themselves on the MAX 8 and the 737-800s. So we're on VATSIM as always. We're currently loading the passengers on GSX with a lovely custom GSX profile for Bristol. And we've got a flight time today of around 2 hours and 10 minutes. Tomorrow we're going to be flying, actually no, not tomorrow, sorry, it's going to be in 2 days, about Wednesday. Wednesday we're going to be flying the ATR 72-600 around New Zealand. We're still planning the route, but it looks to be Auckland to Dunedin, and then down to Christchurch. Dunedin? Dunedin? I don't know, one of them. Doc, hello, welcome. Yeah, it is a lot calmer now, isn't it, in the forums and everywhere else with that slight FAQ. But yeah, like you say, it didn't stop the clickbaiters dropping nonsense videos out there. Yeah, good point actually. It's not Dunedin. It's we're off to Napier. So Auckland to Napier, Napier to Christchurch, with some really cool Napier Freeware and amazing flight beam Auckland, and fantastic NZA simulations Christchurch, which will be the first time actually looking at that with the new computer. Looking forward to it. So focusing on today's flight, we're going to be heading out of Bristol. Runway 27, short taxi out of the cul-de-sac on the main apron here, out onto the hold for Alpha X-ray, lining up, and we're going to need all of the runway today with our calculations. It's short here at Bristol anyway, 2,011 metres, and also quite bumpy as well, similar to the kind of waviness at Birmingham as well. Bristol itself has got a famous hump that's kind of located around that closed taxiway between sort of Hotel and Delta there, which you frequently have the chance of hitting on arrival. Pula's in Croatia, SJ. After takeoff, runway heading is 267 degrees, climbing out to about 3,000 to 6,000 feet, and then turning out northbound around back on ourselves to intercept an outbound radial of 217 degrees to Honolulu 113.65. Where we'll be arriving at HAWFA, level at 6,000 feet. Of course it can, Rab. Transition altitude of 6,000, the airport elevation 622 feet, and then we're away, over London. There we go. So HAWFA, turning eastbound, Al Had, zipping over London Heathrow. We'll pass to just to the south of London Heathrow towards Biggin Hill, over the Dover coast, English Channel at Coxey into Belgian airspace, and then zipping over Europe like so. It's going to be quite cool. David G, welcome. So, let's dive into the flight deck. Let's see what we've got. Loki's saying hello of all the time as well. Just going to go and sort him out very quickly. I swear, every time I'm getting in and out of this next level racing Boeing seat, it takes me another 2 minutes because you've got to climb in and out of it like you're doing it in a flight deck for real. Yeah, I need to get that aircon on SJ028. What's just been delivered, in fact, is my air conditioning seals for the windows, but the RTX4090 has turned this it's turned this flight sim room into a sauna. So it's going to be interesting. Let's tune to ground.
Lima Bravo 1275. I've done an runway by accident. Should I leave and rejoin?
God, I wish I had air conditioning working in here. My God.
Yes, please. Texture. Sorry about that. I'll
no. Don't know what that means, but what have we got? Golf. Runway use 27, winds variable at 7 knots, scattered clouds 1700 and at 2500. Temperatures 21 degrees, dew point 16, altimeter 1015. Let's have a wee look here. So 121925, Bristol ground. There is a window in the room, but I don't want to open it because the air is actually hotter outside. So it'll be bringing in hot air. Plus, then the neighbours are going to hear. They're going to have to listen to me without, you know. I should put a sign up really out on the window. Subscribe. Bristol ground. Good afternoon. Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo. Stand 6 737-800 with information golf. Yes. Request clearance to Pula.
Tomjet 6 Kilo. Sorry, 6 Tango Kilo. Bristol ground. Very good afternoon. Clear to Pula. HAWFA 1 X-ray departure. Squawk 4244.
Cleared to Pula. HAWFA 1 X-ray departure, squawk 4244, Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo.
Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo, but correct.
So, 67% baggage, that's all looking good. You can see here, this is the performance we've got today. So if we zip over to this here, the gross weight 67.7. And cruise at flight level 390. Transition altitude departing 6,000 feet. Cost index of 30 and our fuel reserves. Our FinRes plus alternate fuel gives us a total of 3.4 tonnes as backup fuel for us today. Average winds in the cruise 324 degrees at 12 knots, so going to be a bit of a crosswind, slight crosswind for the cruise. And taking off though and flying away out of Bristol, we're going to be flying Toga. Then converting into climb profile 2, so we're going to be using max power, and as you can see there, 25 degrees of flaps, giving us a V1 of 132, rotate 133, V2 142, 152 adding the 10 and the MCP panel. We've got the initial altitude, runway heading, and V2 plus 10 installed, and install set rather, and then course as well. That 217 there relates to Honolulu, which we've got tuned 11365 there. We've also got the Bristol NDB 414.0 tuned into ADF1, just to flick back to that if we need it for any reason. And up in the pressurization panel, 39,000 feet for the cruise, and we'll whack that to 650. Zarto's transmitting from the bottom of a swimming pool. There he is. He's got his microphone at the tip of the snorkel.
Fast station readability 1, you're saying like you've got a muffled.
So, oh my god, it's so hot in here. Jeez. We've got New Sky fired up. Flight plans all pulled in ready. Lanter's ready to go. Let's prep pushback. So we're going to flick this across. GSX menu on 4.2. Departure clearance requested.
7272.
Clear to Pula by the Hall 1 X-ray departure. Squawk 7272 for Osprey 63 Foxtrot.
We've got a new command set up today, by the way. Our fuel pump APU starts. Yeah, a new command today, which is !MSFS 2024. So if you need to read the Q&A or the FAQ from Microsoft Flight Simulator's team after the absolute wildfire that took place yesterday online. My goodness. Then the link will be in the live chat for you guys. But we'll chat about it during the flight as well. It's important news that certainly needs us to kind of discuss, to be fair. Right. We're almost there. See what we get for push and start in a moment.
Bristol ground, Osprey 2472 with you. Good afternoon. Type 737-800, QNH 1015 with information Golf at stand 22. Requesting IFR to Pula, please.
Centre tank's got 1.6 tons on, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all pumps selected and on. APU's now available. So we're basically turning the APU on right at the last point, which we want it on, therefore we're using less fuel overall throughout the flight.
Osprey 2472, correct?
And Tomjet 6, Tango Kilo, stand 6, fully ready, request push and start. Oh, stand by, I'll just set transponder.
Tomjet 6, Tango Kilo, after you've set the transponder, push that approved.
Push dot approved. Do you want us on the facing south on to Echo 1 on the cul-de-sac, Tomjet 6, Tango Kilo?
Base station on to Echo 1, please.
What did I just select? Full trucks move, park brakes on, APU bleed. Let's get rid of the GSX menu.
Ground DG72 is ready for push.
That's all good, that's all set. Anti-collision lights on. And a few minutes left to go. Let's rock and roll.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push.
In the background, by the way, we're going to have to start the safety demonstration. It's a little long one. It's a nice one.
Osprey 63 Fox is ready for push and start.
Osprey 63 Foxtrot, push that approved.
Ignition mode ground.
Push start approved, Osprey 63 Fox start.
The chuffing heck is going on here with this.
Hello and welcome to your flight with TUI. Whether it's your first flight or your 50th,
Route 20, add the fuel.
as we talk you through the magic of flying. Please keep your seatbelt fastened.
Ryanair 1123 looking for push and start, stand 23.
Simply clip it together, then adjust it by pulling on the strap.
Alright, 1123, confirm sparking 7024.
Lift the flap.
Yep, we got 7024 in the box, Ryanair 1123.
It's not very likely, but if there's an emergency, get into the brace position.
And right now 1123, thank you, push that approved, push east into the cul-de-sac.
There's Echo
Push and
1.
start approved, face east, Ryanair 1123.
Your cabin crew are now pointing out the emergency exit. Have a look.
Ignition mode ground. For engine 1.
It might be behind you.
Good afternoon, Bristol. This is Lima Bravo 1275.
Watching the N1 and 2 rise there for engine 1.
Echo Golf Kilo Kilo.
Fuel control lever run.
If an oxygen
Wait, Brother 1275, can you just refile flight please? You filed the circuits again.
please manage it. And remember to put yours on first.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
So we'll set those. 4.8 on the trim. That'll do. Auto brake RTO. Oh no.
Find a life jacket
VNAV.
either under your seat, beneath
Auto
your
thrust.
armrest, or inside your leg rest. Put it on
Edge start mode continuous for engine 1. Gen 1's on. Check the power outputs.
The life jacket will inflate when you pull sharply on the red exit.
Jolly good. Your dampers good. They're all on. Voice recorders automatic. Anti-ice is required. Hydraulic pumps are all on. Circuit fans are on auto. Got the APU bleed off. Engine bleeds on. Left and right packs on automatic. Isolation valves on automatic. Pressure panel set.
Brother 125, QNH 1015.
APU off.
QNH 1015, Western.
6 stages of flaps.
This is Lima Bravo 1275.
And system checks. So we're going to go full right on the aileron, back to centre, all the way left, back to centre, all the way back, forwards and backwards on the elevators, and again wiggling that trim as always, the rudder as always, because the sim always forgets it.
The flight plan, like on my map, on obviously the A320 the route, but I don't know if you can see that, which is both of you can.
Who's that?
No, I've just got, are you sure going to be VFR? There's no controls on mine at the minute.
Oh no, it's an IFR.
That massive DHL. I want to compare, I was just looking at some videos, I want to compare, it was about there actually, that Ryanair video that I kind of watched.
Okay, we have 1275.
Let's say, we'll do flap 25. That's what VAS Airplane Toolbox says, so we have a nice small safety margin, so we'll go for it.
Squawk 5052.
Looking good. Safety demo's done.
Could you repeat the squawk code, please?
Squawk 5052.
Squawk 5052, maintain 6,000 feet.
I told you at 6 Tango Kilo, request taxi.
26 Kilo Tango, taxi unit point Alpha X-ray, QNH 1015.
Taxi hold point Alpha X-ray, QNH 1015, Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo. So, that's all good, that's all set, we've checked that, checked the engines, clear the bottom page, we've done a little master caution recall, VNAV and LNAV are both checked and set. Might do a couple of pumps of the brakes, because it's a little bit poopy sometimes, with brake sensitivities in the sim.
Okay, taxi set ahead, Alpha X-ray, give way to the Tomjet. You might get there before we, Matt, sure.
Well, we're basically there already, so 0 to Alpha X-ray, give way to the Tomjet EG72.
Jeez, look at the size of that thing.
Osprey 6 Fox is ready for taxi.
Beast.
Osprey 6-3 Fox, give way to the Tomjet 737, passing left to right, then taxi only for Alpha X-ray, QNH 1015.
Right, I'm going to pop that on now.
Zulu Alpha for Osprey 6-3 Fox, am I correct for that?
Alpha X-ray.
Alpha X-ray, Osprey 6-3 Fox.
Ryanair 1123 ready to taxi.
So, but, EG17, nothing further, I'm afraid, Molly, can you come 122 estimate? Have a good day.
So Alpha X-rays where the
EG17, Molly, can you come
EasyJet is there.
Have a good day.
Unicom 122, Jet from EG72, have a good afternoon.
Ryanair 1123 ready to taxi.
Ashton, very nice.
123, taxi in for Alpha X-ray, QNH 1015.
Down to Alpha X-ray, we've got the QNH,
Out the hold.
Ryanair 1123.
Fuel flow reset rate.
Tomjet 6, Tomjet Kilo, nothing further, mate. Minus Unicom 122 estimate, have a good day.
Unicom 1228, Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo, cheers for staying on.
EasyJet.
I think he's holding for me. I think he is. Very kind. We'll go with it. We'll just own it. Bristol traffic, Tomjet 6 Tango Kilos, Alpha X-ray ready for departure and lining up runway 27, departing HAWFA 1 X-ray departure Bristol.
Bristol traffic, EC72
Slope steady.
departing Tomjet, lining up via Alpha X-ray runway 27, HAWFA 1
Lights and
X-ray departure,
signs,
initial
crew
transfer
advised. Set. Everything else looks good. Flap 25 departure. Runway 27 confirmed. And V-speeds are set and checked. Here we go. So I'm actually going to try and use as much of this as possible. There's that wavy runway. Neither have I, Doc, I don't think. But VAS Airplane Toolbox said flat 15 would have us with a margin of only a couple of feet, a couple of meters.
And we'll give 3 minute separation to
So,
the Osprey aircraft, which is running.
Let's go. Toga. Brakes off. Power set. Kind of trusting VAS Airplane Toolbox with the calculations for this. We're going to use less runway than we're probably going to need, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
200 ER, lining up runway 27, Bristol.
Rotate. There's the end of the runway already. So flat 15 might have just got us there. Positive rate, gear up. Flat 15. Looking at the speed bugs there. Flaps 10. Flaps 5. Quarter brake off. Gear lever off. CMD-A engage. Autopilot's got the aeroplane. VNAV speeds. That is on anyway, that's all good. That's set. We're going to go runway turn off lights off. And ignition modes continuous. Flaps up. And we're away. Look at those clouds. My goodness, we're flying straight into that. That's all good, that's all set, that's set. Oh, now VNAV, auto thrust, M1 mode. Flight directors are both on. Pop that on automatic. Round we go. Auto brake disarm is active at the moment.
Bristol traffic, Osprey 63 Fox departing.
Trying to work out in a moment why that is the case, but we will enjoy the departure views for now. We're going to adhere to the SID as well, so we're going to level at 6,000 initially before continuing the climb up. Yeah, I mean flap 25 just makes things a bit busier, it gives us more work to do, but we can use it, we can kind of work around it in that sense as well. Let's keep going. Look at that cloud, my goodness. Yeah, yesterday I think Rab was mentioning it earlier on, the barbecue that I had. My god, I got absolutely drenched, and at one point I thought there's every chance I'm going to be hit with by some lightning here. They're all on, that's all set, that's all good, they're fine. Yeah, if we had an engine out, we would have likely have reverted to flat 15 if we had engine out during takeoff. But also very quickly we reached that speed bug for flat 15 anyway. So with that in mind, that was, you know, nothing to really kind of worry ourselves about too much.
Bristol traffic, Osprey 63 Fox Heavy, airborne 2700 for 390, caution wake turbulence for Bristol.
Now we're turning to that little quadrant there, and then skirting around the edges of it potentially, or even through it, I'm not sure which, we'll find out in a moment. Racking my brain as to why we had auto brake disarm previously on a stream. Can't remember what the cause of it was. Noel, welcome. Crikey. The biggest thing in aviation, certainly when I was learning to fly the small PA-28s as well, was always respect the weather. Because it will kill you. Just skirting it like absolute pros rather than... We literally are skirting it as well. How epic is this? There we go, there we go. That's my favourite wing view.
From my 27 HAWFA 1 X-ray departure, initial time 6,000.
Liner 1123, lining up and waiting, runway 27.
That's epic. That there is Filton, home of Airbus, in Bristol. My God, look at that cloud. I think it might be wise to put some anti-ice on, you know. I think we'll be okay. Standard pressure. And we'll keep that speed bug going around. Keep it in line with our direction of travel. We've got a wonderful split scimitar winglets here as well on this livery.
Runway 27, climbing 6,000 on the HAWFA 1 X-ray.
That's an absolute whopper, isn't it? Look at that. Crikey. Blanta's just uploaded all of those in one go. No, great to hear, buddy. Thank you very much. Through 10,000. Just sort this out, otherwise I'm going to get penalised. Osprey, of course, yes, David. The man knows the truth. Yeah, I mean, it's entirely what you want, really, but it's great to hear you love watching the videos as well and the content and the tutorials. Really good to hear. The design for people getting started as well, without too much complicated gumph kind of thrown into them, really. It's all about trying to build confidence and within the enjoyment of flight sim as well, before you then go into learning more complex things as well. So try and build off from a very early basic level, work our way up throughout. So throughout the tutorial series of various aircraft. But yeah, you could always join our virtual airline, Noel, Osprey, fly for Osprey Airways. There's no dramas if you have issues and stuff, but if you can fly from A to B fairly confidently in certain aeroplanes, then yeah, sure, go for it, enjoy it. It's free to join. Lots of routes available, lots of tours as well. David saying, are you still using the enhancement map tool? What's that? Oh, do you mean, was it Google Maps? No, Google Maps, I think I used that replacement tool once. In fact, that was when we flew into Bristol, wasn't it? And we just had the big white square around the airport. Yeah, I remember that. Never used it since. If you enjoy today's live stream, then make sure you hit the like button as well, of course. Lets me and Google know that you're enjoying the videos and the streams and things. Why are you still switched on?
Bristol traffic, landing on 123, 1.3.
That's off. When we go gear down later, I'll expect that auto brake disarm light to go off again, otherwise we'll just have to land with manual brakes. That's all fine though, cabin's pressurising nicely. Pop that off, and that VOR as well, we don't need those. We're waiting to zip past London Heathrow. We'll see it on this side of the aeroplane. Andrew says, anyone that's flown over the UK will agree this wing view is exactly what it looks like. Very cool. It's the wonder of Microsoft Flight Simulator, isn't it? Look at the M4 down below as well, the M4 motorway. Really easily identifiable. We're literally flying along the M4 motorway before kind of breaking off towards that gap between Heathrow and Gatwick. Zipping between the two of those. Yeah, I mean, Noel, the other option is Fly UK, flyuk.aero. That's a really good virtual airline too. More of a career mode as well. You've got to build your way up from sort of like the small aeroplanes, and then you go up through promotions and things that will allow you to then progress up to the bigger long-haul twin-aisle jets. Tried that, Doc, after departure. I'll try it again. I'll give it like a few seconds perhaps this time, rather than just flick it and flick it. Oh well. It'll be fine. If in doubt, manual brakes. Apparently, we hit the bump on the runway at Bristol actually. As we were starting to rotate, we hit a bit of a bump anyway, and it recorded a slight landing at 141 knots at Bristol apparently for some reason. Very odd. Got Thiesman flying along today. We've got Ian as well, Osprey 2472. Who else have we got? Zato, I've heard. Hopefully he's got out of the bottom of the pool now. Easy 72 as well. Was it Easy 72 or is it Ryanair? Oh no, there's two. GTS or GT Slow as well. Ryanair 1123. And then we've got Depot Dolphin. Yeah, there we go. Easy 72. Flying along, and Zato Osprey 63 Foxtrot in the 777-200, Badger 2E919 as well. That big city that we passed a moment ago, that was Swindon. We got Reading coming up as well. Before we skirt past Heathrow. Bosnia indeed. Do you consider the PMDG 737-800 worth the 70 bucks, or should I get 3 or 4 sceneries instead? This is solidly my favourite aircraft in the sim, still, to be honest. Yeah, by a long stretch, it is incredibly good. Rabs off to flight level 450, my goodness. So, I'm not too worried if there's any failures, Doc, to be honest. I'll just work with it. In fact, auto brake, auto brake, auto brake. Auto brake disarm. So, let me see if I can show you guys this. I think I can. Oh, no, maybe stand by. There we go. So, I'm going to use the QRH. Oh, do you see that flash of lightning? My goodness. Yeah. Oh, epic. There's a thunderstorm there. Alright, in flight, go to step 3. Auto brake, select switch off, then reselect. Choose one. Auto brake disarm, light stays extinguished. Auto brake disarm, light illuminates again. Auto brake, select switch off. Use manual brakes for landing. Go to step 5. Checklist complete except for deferred items. Right, let's have a little look at the brake pressure. Fuel master caution because centre tanks are empty, so 1 and 2 go off in the centre. Brake pressure. It's fine. It's green. So we'll follow this very briefly. In flight, go to step 3. Auto brake, select switch off, then reselect. So reselect RTO. We'll try max. No, right, so then it's use manual brakes for landing, auto brakes, switch, select off. Mike, epic.
Heathrow traffic, shuttle 13 kilo on base leg to 911.
There
Heathrow traffic.
is Reading. Big old storms around still in the UK. David's made good progress. There's London Heathrow. Big Jet TV was wild yesterday, wasn't it? Tuned in for a little while. It was kind of my weather vane for working out how long I had until the storms hit me whilst I was outside of my barbecue. And it hit me a lot sooner than I expected. It actually got dangerous. Dorney Lake, down there, it's home of the some of the London 2012 Olympics, I think it is.
Traffic,
Heathrow traffic, shuttle 13 kilo established.
Island, runway
614, 10 mile, maintaining 164, shuttle 13 kilo.
Andy, flickering issues. Have a little look at your screen. If your screen can run at 120 Hz, try and set it to 120 Hz, but maybe try a different like 60 Hz or something. I don't really know what to suggest really. I wish I was more techie to kind of understand it a bit better. Ooh, there's Heathrow, look. James, no, not for this kind of flying, but we're on Unicom as well, don't forget, so we just buzz along and communicate as and when we can. Crikey, sim locked up there for some reason. Heathrow looking stunning there though.
Ferry 432 holding Alpha 2 for the landing traffic.
And then we've got bloody London in it. Down there. Someone play the EastEnders theme tune. And Twickenham just visible.
30 airborne, runway 26 left.
The home of rugby. Yeah, any scene Heathrow is spectacular. One of my favourites. Alan Stringer, welcome. Hope you're well. There's London down there. Oh, look at the detail. My goodness. Oh, that is actually quite remarkable. They just sort out that drone camera tilt. Crikey, you can see everything. I can see the Houses of Parliament. I can see Square Mile. London City and the O2. I almost called it the Millennium Dome.
Gatwick traffic, EG6416, approaching runway 26
Look at
left on 2 mile final.
Let's zip in
Gatwick
here.
traffic.
There's LCY. See it all? Look, there's the Shard, Houses of Parliament, the London Eye is actually visible as well still, my goodness. Buckingham Palace. Awesome.
Gatwick traffic, Scale 8432, line up 26 left.
Andrew, very kind, saying it's a shame there isn't a reward for the best screenshots and live stream videos. I think Luke is one of the best on YouTube right now ever since he got the RTX4090. I won't mention the other guys. That's the Orbex London upgrade, David. Plus the London MSFS World Update thing as well. But that's the Orbex LCY version 2 as well. With the Docklands extension.
Gatwick traffic, EG6416, clear runway. Gatwick traffic.
Gatwick's looking pretty busy at the moment as well, which is down on this side of the... There she is. Good old Gatters, home of absolute carnage on Unicom on VATSIM. Apparently there is a thunderstorm starting to swell just kind of to the left of where we are at the moment, over London, over Woolwich in fact. Yeah, Simwings Munich version 2 looking very cool, isn't it? Looking forward to flying there at some point in the near future. Might even do Berlin Brandenburg to Munich and back or something like that. Ooh. That is... Where is it? London City. Okay, that's a little bit further upriver, isn't it? That's not the Dartford crossing. Oh no, it actually is. So that, I think, is Gravesend in Kent. It is Gravesend in Kent, and Tilbury Docks opposite. So yeah, the kind of the main topic really is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Took us all by absolute surprise yesterday. I haven't done a video on it, even though others are, because the ones that have done videos yesterday were kind of jumping on the hype just for clicks and therefore revenue, without actually offering anything tangible, anything informative to give anybody in the community. And I think that's actually it's quite damaging to everybody. Certainly with something like that, with the reaction that we had across the community as well when that release was so sudden and it went live, all it does is fuel the conspiracies, the animosity, the frustration as well. When people just want facts, they want clarity, they want information to understand what's actually happening. So that's why I've purposely not produced a video for it, because it's not about clickbait, it's not about revenue, it's about being accurate with the information we provide, which unfortunately others kind of have forgotten or chosen to push to the side, I suppose. The result really is what we've had is more people kind of diving on it, thinking that the worst is happening, when in fact, having woke up this morning, we've had a little bit of clarity from the team at Microsoft Flight Simulator on the forums with an FAQ offering us just a little bit more information. The FAQ is very short, in fairness. But it does offer us some information. They're answering 3 questions. The kind of common themes, the main themes from what everybody was experiencing, and the frustration, the anxiety, the fear, the anger, blended in with the small amount of excitement as well throughout yesterday's release. So the first question being, will Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 be a complete standalone sequel, or will it also be offered as a paid update for existing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 players? And their answer to that is that it's going to be a standalone simulator separate to MSFS 2020 and the next generation sequel to Microsoft Flight Simulator that launched in 2020. Current aircraft and airports that are in Microsoft Flight Simulator currently as we enjoy it, as well as virtually all marketplace add-ons, will be supported in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So that's some good news. It's something to look forward to. The one thing I've kind of thought of from here, though, in relation to just that question specifically, is whether or not we're going to enjoy day 1 support very quickly from various developers and add-ons and everything else too. Because we just don't know. It could be similar to X-Plane 11 becoming X-Plane 12, where developers are taking 6 to 12 months to patch and update their products to get it working with the new sim. But by contrast, perhaps it will have most of the same, if not all of the same base code, and therefore things like this will just require a minor bit of code, minor bit of tweaking, and then it will work. And it will be updated to work with the new sim, which will be really good. I'm hoping for the latter, naturally, because it will mean then that we can just carry on by the new simulator and then carry on with our favourite sceneries, our favourite aircraft add-ons, almost as if nothing's actually happened, but with a new Unreal Engine powering the sim and all the latest technology as well, giving us, I mean, what we already have is beautiful graphics, just utterly stunning graphics, but maybe even more so with the new sim. The second question was, what kind of support can Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 players expect to see once Flight Simulator 2024 has been released? This is a question that's kind of come about from when MSFS first was released back in August 2020, where they said that they would support the simulator title for 10 years. Now, they didn't really go into detail as to what that meant. Perhaps all along that was that includes the development of a new title, MSFS 2024, perhaps. Who knows? But again, we don't have much clarity or information on that. But they, in response to that question, they have said that they will continue to deliver our Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 roadmap, which has content ranging from aircraft and avionics updates, sim updates, city and world updates, and also the free June DLC, which I have zero interest in, like most of us who like to fly the airliners and all that sort of stuff. That's very arcadey. Got no interest in the free June DLC. They've also said that we continue to support Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 post the MSFS 2024 launch. And it'll be interesting to see how they kind of contrast against one another. Who knows? Next question they've asked in the FAQs are, will all purchases users have made from the marketplace be transferable to the new simulator? Because a lot of people have spent a lot of money, understandably, concerned that their hard-earned cash spent on add-ons, aircraft, liveries, everything else will be utterly useless in the new sim. And they've said, with very few exceptions, virtually all add-ons that work in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 today will function in MSFS 2024. Add-ons that were purchased from the in-simulator marketplace will not need to be repurchased in MSFS 2024. But what naturally they don't really say is they're also reliant massively on people, developers, being able to patch and update their products accordingly and quickly to work with the new sim. It's going to be the A310. That's what they're going to be on about, Joey. Sorry, the A300, Joey. AnyBuilds there in their Discord saying they're teasing something on the Discord. They've just put an everyone ping out saying The ultimate airliner experience coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Coming soon. Find out more on Saturday, the 24th of June at Flight Sim Expo. Tracy, thanks for subscribing. Welcome on board. Nick Official, what makes you think that? Yeah, I mean that's one of the big differences, as Christopher's mentioned there. The big push really in that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 trailer was, in effect, the mission packs, like Christopher's saying there. The things like offshore shipping missions as well, which I think Aerosoft have got something to do with, because funnily enough, it's got the Aerosoft North Sea pack in the trailer. It's also got things like the High Performance Group helicopters, Flight Effects Vision Jet as well, I think, isn't it? Sussling, yeah, it will require them to be updated, sadly. I was hoping to go to Flight Sim Expo this year, but I'm not, unfortunately, because I don't have the cash. Oh my god, what the heck is going on with the sim today? Like little stutters all over the place. Very weird. But we still don't really have enough information. Certainly don't have enough information to put out videos that are going to get 20,000, 30,000 views with no information. Pure speculation, BS, just trying to get that ad revenue in. And I just think it's damaging, effectively. I just think it's damaging to what is actually going to happen, what the facts are as well, because some of it is just so... they're just guessing at stuff, and people will then grab that, they cling on to one sentence, and then boom, that's it, that's fact, and then it spreads everywhere. I just think it gets really messy that way, so you better be just holding back. Naturally, we've got a lot of questions. That's one of them, in fact, Sussling as well. What computer specs will MSFS 2024 require? Jeff, I know. It's starting to trigger me, the kind of nonsense that's coming out from some clickbaiters now. I separate clickbaiters now from content creators, because I think it's become its own kind of niche. Yeah, what a load of tosh, eh? I mean, for those of you who haven't seen the trailer, did you want us to play it during the live stream today? I could bring it up and I could play it live. We could kind of have a little look at it. Pop it in like a picture-in-picture thing inside the stream, perhaps. Elliot saying, I think it's very exciting. From a technical point of view, we do need a new simulator. People have been groaning about the current sim's lack of certain features or abilities for developers. I guess you could counter that with, why don't they just fix this current sim? But there might be, behind the scenes, limitations to what the sim is currently able to achieve with the platform that it is on, the engine that it's on, and all that sort of stuff, perhaps. Anth, welcome. The only thing I hope for is they're not going to start this development cycle again. MSFS 2020, MSFS 2024, MSFS 2028, because as Centuria was saying in Discord last night, it's very likely that MSFS 2028 will require us to buy everything again. Whereas MSFS 2020 to 2024, most of things should be able to transport across to the new sim, the new platform, perhaps. There will be a distinguishable difference between those two, perhaps. It's all business, isn't it, at the end of the day? But at the same time as well, when you look back to things like FS98, FS2000, FS2002, every 2 years you had a flight simulator release, which was fine back then because there wasn't that much depth to the sim. Was it FS98 or FS2000, I think it was? you're kind of limited to Meigs Field, Chicago O'Hare, weren't you, and the small vicinity around that. You couldn't really kind of, like we can now, start at Bristol and zip all the way across the world, stopping at various airports along the way. And the sheer detail and depth of simulation that we have now, by contrast, I think does counter against the fact that we don't want to have updates every single 4 years. I think people will get tired of that. Who knows? I don't know. I suppose it depends what they're going to pull out of the bag as well, doesn't it? We don't. A lot of it's still completely unknown. Deepod saying, I wonder if we just got used to spaced out releases because the gap between FSX and MSFS 2020, consistent releases used to be commonplace. But even, look at the difference between FSX and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 as well. Christopher saying the A400M looks odd though. Yeah, I mean, I think from what we can gather, having looked around on various bits online, I think DC Designs, they're involved somehow. Builds are involved. Aerosoft are involved. High Performance Group are involved. Flight Effects are involved. That's what I think we can gather from the trailer. You know what? Let's pull the trailer up. God's sake. Honestly, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. MSFS 2024 news. Nobody knows anything. Stop clickbaiting people. Bill Pilot reacts. Honestly. It triggers me. It's just nonsense. Nobody knows. Everybody's got an opinion. And everybody's guessing still. Let's stop making stuff up. Jeez. What was it on Xbox? I just find it so... It's misleading and frustrating, isn't it? Because people just, like we said, they click on to one or two things and then that is it, verbatim. That's the truth. What can we go to? Let's see. Let's go to that view. Microsoft Edge. Oh, look at this. It's like I've done this before. Now, if I go... No, I can't go full screen. Right, let's play it. I don't watch any of it, Elliot, anymore. It's just... Yeah, we can all give an opinion, but beyond clickbait. Let's rewatch this. Let's dissect it. I'm giving an opinion during a live stream. Don't need a separate video for it. Doom. Hopefully you can hear the music. I do love the music of these trailers. Hello, Andy. So, pausing it here, definitely some high performance group involvement here. Gotta be. Let me just turn this up. Oh, 4K. Sexual. Definitely high performance group involvement here. Perhaps maybe A2A or something as well. Or was it Big Radials that do the Grumman Goose? I don't know. But definitely mission related stuff is high performance groups kind of thing, isn't it? Look at that. It does look spectacularly good fun, doesn't it? That's hype, it's gotta be. Yeah, nobody clipped that. Aerosoft, North Sea Pack. This looks great fun. I mean, I've got to say that it does look great fun. It's got to be one of those things, maybe when it does come out, we'll have to kind of smash out some of these missions live. Yeah, they will, Cooking. I've got faith in that. This looks insane. Now, if we pause it here, for good reason. Puddles, that's new for Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's exciting. But also, we've got the A330neo. Aerosoft, they talked about maybe an A330neo arriving at some point in the future, didn't they? So I wonder if that has got some involvement there. But also look at the concrete slabs on the floor. That's something that we've not yet noticed inside Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment. We've kind of got this generic asphalt kind of textures, or the kind of stuck-looking concrete textures. It's just kind of continuous, but none of these big, heavyweight, heavy-duty concrete slabs here. So that's quite unique and quite cool. But I love the dynamic effects here of like the ambulance rocking up for a medical evacuation and things. The puddle reflections do look stunning. That's a very unique part of aviation, agricultural crop spraying. Very skilled pilots, tough job. This looks fun. Give it 20 minutes before somebody flies through the skydivers though. And yeah, any builds, A310. So we've got, I mean that's really cool, isn't it? I don't even know what helicopter that is, but that's something that I've not seen before. I'd have to Google what it is to be fair, but the dynamic missions of being able to carry part of a pylon to the location to have it installed. How unique is that? I don't think that's been done in a sim ever before, but also then having that dynamic world of skydiving where you're piloting the plane and then you have to then zip back down to the airfield to beat them all using beta modes and all that sort of stuff, beta descent. Very, very cool. And yeah, the Unibuild's A310. So we've got a variety of developers who are obviously under NDM, they can't say anything, but they've got such specific products that we can kind of gather that they are involved, let's face it. Again, this looks like McMurdo Station, which is Antarctica. Aerosoft have got the Antarctica pack, haven't they? So are they involved in that as well? Have they sold the rights to the Antarctic volume packs across to Microsoft for the creation of this? But the A400M, that looks like it's gonna be such good fun. Beluga XL, based on the A330, interesting. Elliot's saying, I do like the idea of a possible walking avatar. If I could pace at a terminal scenery and enter my aircraft without the depth of simulation being stepped on, then I'm game. I don't think we're going to get that level of detail though, to be honest. As we I would quite like to do a bit of the skydiving as well, Christopher. Good afternoon, Tim. Ericsson Air Crane, thanks. Yeah, A400M, what a cracking aeroplane that is, eh? And good old air racing as well, standards. This is going to be a new flight sim, yeah. The music always makes my hair stand up on edge. Flight effects. Got to be the high performance group hot air balloon as well. But also, if we just go back to this one, look at, watch really carefully, guys, the animals. Ready? Actually moving, migrating animals. How cool is that? Yeah, I won't interrupt this time. Let's just go and watch it one final time, all the way through. Andy. Yeah, what little hair I've got left. The detail is spectacular, isn't it? Even the water. I hope the crops grow throughout the summer. Yes, seasons. That's my favourite bit. Here's a thought. The farm bit, right? Will we, after we've done a bit of crop spraying, be able to call Jerry from Clarkson's farm to go in there, do the harvest? Let's see if we can. I wonder how detailed it's going to become. Yeah, because it's all well and good crop spraying, but you kind of want to see then, where does it go from there? Yeah, it's a development and a kind of progression of the new tech. Look forward to flying over the Serengeti in a British Avgeek liveried hot air balloon, Tim says. Might have to do Osprey safari tours. Might have to be a chartered sidearm of can't say sidearm actually. Side company of Osprey Airways. Yeah, there's lots to look forward to. I mean, there's a little bit of a, in the back of my mind still, why couldn't they do it inside MSFS 2020? I don't know. But there'll be a business decision around it because of the nature of it effectively. But do you remember when Mathis mentioned in the Aerosoft forums the other day about the A330neo being selected because of other business decisions elsewhere away from specific product releases as add-ons for the sim? This makes perfect sense. Whilst he doesn't say it so perfectly clear, it makes sense that they are releasing something for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that they can't talk about yet, but hence the business decision to do an A330neo anyway, even with the headwind one being available. Yes, that's Jay, that's it. Yes. Watch me and my RTX4090 spray some chemicals on some wheat. What's that quote? Behold the land of which they grow, or something like that. So yeah, what have we got? We've got no doubt Aeroplane Heaven are probably going to be involved because they've done a few bits already, haven't they, for MSFS? So it would make sense that they would probably be involved, but who knows? Flight FX, they're definitely in there. That Vision Jet. Who else we got? We got Aerosoft. I'm writing all this down. Aerosoft with Antarctica and the North Sea pack, and I'm also going to say with their A330neo as well. Any builds with the Beluga? Maybe the XL Beluga. Who knows? Don't really know what they're creating, unless that's going to be from Aerosoft. Again, that's just guessing though, isn't it? That's just pure guesswork until we get proper confirmation of anything we don't know. Yeah, it could be. Perhaps they've taken these add-ons and they've gone, look, they're working inside the new sim, folks. They just haven't said that. I suppose they've made it somehow, haven't they? They've made them somehow with those products already. Don't forget as well, Microsoft are earning an absolute mint from the marketplace. The amount of crap inside the marketplace is insane. But people buy it anyway. Certainly like Xbox liveries and things like that too. Oh, that's pretty tight, isn't it? Crikey. Yeah, personally I'm excited. I was a little bit worried basically yesterday because of the release with no information. So the old flare went up and started to worry about all of the money that we put into Microsoft Flight Simulator already. Are things going to still work? How is it going to work with the old sim? Will it stay supported? All the questions start to kind of develop, as we all had as well. We all had the similar kind of train of thought with most of it. I did poll on Twitter as well, didn't I? Yesterday. I wonder if I can bring it up. Twitter.com British Avgeek. Go away. Except, don't want any cookies either. Go away, Twitter. Where are we at? I did a poll. Let me find it. It's here somewhere. Here. So, it's not going to let me see it. But yeah, it's got 8,412 views, 1,411 votes. I'm clicking that. It's not going to let me. My goodness. But that was the question I was asked anyway. That I asked. Let me try and fix this. Stand by, caller. Pyreek, by the way, have said that Microsoft Flight Simulator 24 compatibility updates will be free of charge for Pyreek scenery. So that's nice to know. FS Dream Team have said the same thing as well. There we go. As have Miltech Simulations. I put a few of those on Twitter yesterday to be like first out the blocks. Second FSIM Studios. There we go. So an absolute whopper. This is based on yesterday without any information. They just went boom, here's the sexy trailer, and then caused everybody to panic. 1,411 votes with a day left to go, and 84.5% of those have all said they've hit pause on all Microsoft Flight Simulator purchases until they get more clarity on what this release is about and what will happen to all current add-ons. That's quite an overwhelming survey, isn't it, really? That's a heck of a lot. I didn't expect that sort of response, actually, to be fair. But the polling hasn't really switched that much. It's floated between 83 to 86% since that poll went live. Yeah, good point, Andy, as well. Yeah, Aerosoft mysteriously removed the Twin Otter from sale a short while back, suggesting it would return. So perhaps we're going to see in Microsoft 2024 a massive major deal with Aerosoft, which will include the North Sea Pack, Antarctica, the Twin Otter. Would make sense because Antarctica have got some very unique Twin Otter ops. The A330, the Beluga XL based on the A330. That's a lot of Aerosoft products right there, just in one place. It's very exciting to think about where the sim is going to go, though. Although part of me is a bit sad that this still feels unfinished and not very polished. And this is what happens to the A380. No idea. They have said that virtually all add-ons will be compatible. So perhaps we'll still be waiting for the A380 from Fly-by-Wire in 2024. Perhaps then it will just be a release on MSFS 2024 instead. Who knows? Again, it's all guesses. We don't really know. Developers at this stage, by the looks of it, don't actually realistically know what's happening either. As long as it's stable, as long as everything can be ported across, and as long as it looks as good, if not better, than Microsoft Flight Simulator does at the moment, and perhaps maybe have multi-thread support properly, then it's just going to be world-beating, isn't it? It's going to crap all over X-Plane 12, that's for sure. Yeah, who knows, Badger? Nobody knows. That's the thing. I'd like to think they will still remain on track with release schedules for the PMDG 777. I mean, that's expected sooner rather than later, isn't it? Elliot saying, I'm hugely excited to see and hear more news. I think it's needed. Will afford huge possibilities technically, and will be a natural evolution for higher fidelity simming. I agree. Andrews, it's going to be a completely separate sim. So effectively you're going to have to buy Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 as a new simulator, and then As the add-ons become compatible for it that you currently own, you will then have to update it into the new sim, install them into the new sim. Yeah, I wonder if X-Plane would be like, what the heck is going on here? Lamina thinking, oh my god, we need X-Plane 13 now. Yeah, all less than 2 weeks before Flight Sim Expo. Makes me wish even more so now that I was going. I mean, the one thing in my mind was as well, you think back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and we were all kind of lured into buying Premium Deluxe at a much higher price than the standard version and the deluxe version, but I kind of wish I didn't waste my money on the Premium Deluxe version now, to be honest. And then the next question is, similar to the ATR, will Premium Deluxe version owners get a slight discount on the new sim? That would be a really good move, wouldn't it? Maybe that's a question that we're going to have to ask them and see if we get an answer for. But yeah, I think most people are going to be under an NDA still, Joey, which is why they've all not been able to say anything. Aaron's preparing on the cargo apron at Stuttgart, bringing some beer over to Pula. Very nice. Hopefully you can bring some from the HAWFA house as well. Great beer hall in Germany. Yeah, SJ. But yeah, but there's going to be Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Premium Deluxe. And it will have something like the Beluga in it that will only be available in that one version. Yeah, that's a good point actually. I'd not thought about that until you mentioned that, SJ. That's a really good point. So I was saying, bets on if 2024 will come out before the PMDG Universal Flight tablet. Who knows? Yeah, the next developer vlog is going to be very interesting, isn't it? And it's also going to be whoever from Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to Flight Sim Expo, I would imagine is going to have one heck of a job. You imagine the size of the crowd around the stalls just trying to get answers. Foreman don't go indeed, Doc. That's it, David. Ultimately, yeah, remember folks, Microsoft Flight, certainly for the Xbox platform, Microsoft Flight Simulator was a world first. Kind of like their flagship game for Xbox, really, with what it can do and what it brought into console, the ability of console players. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens, really. Hopefully over the next 2 weeks, certainly through FS Expo, we start to get more answers, we get more information trickle through, and we get the reassurance from developers as well that we're going to get looked after in some way, just with compatibility. No doubt MK Studios will require you to pay for version 3 for Dublin, no doubt. Bloody crooks. Have I seen the new INI leak? It's not really an INI build leak though, to be fair. Let's see if I can bring this up. There it is. So that's from INI builds, just a few minutes ago. Which looks like the engine for an A310. Sorry, an A300-600, does it not? I mean, I've got to say there's a beautiful weathered effect on that disc as well. And even numbered fan blades. 31, 32, 33, 34. My god, 35. You can actually see those. Lovely. Yeah, saying there, the ultimate airliner experience coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Find out more on the 24th of June. Not so much a leak, more of a an actual announcement from them. A teaser. Christopher, it's much bigger than the A310, I believe. Don't look back, Doc says. We're about to be overtaken by any chance. Oh. Oh my goodness. Is that Zato? Same, it's pink. That's a cool screen grab. It's flying the Osprey 777, but it's generated in our sim as a 787. Always going for the overtake. Yeah, it's definitely an A300 image. Christopher says it's just a bit longer. Yeah, longer, heavier, different engines, I believe. Different range, different weights. Joey's saying next week the AAU2 update is releasing, right? I'd forgotten about that actually. To be honest, with the sheer chaos of yesterday, I'd forgotten about that. Ace Airstream saying if Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 has faster loading times, weather radar, improved default airports, the ability to organise common folder, better artificial ATC, improved virtual traffic, built-in ground handling, then I'll be happy. Just a few things. Yeah, I mean if you want to put it that way, Christopher, then yeah, but it's not going to be stretch the 3D model and be done with it. They've got to change. I mean, bearing in mind, it's a different power plant, I think. But the different weight balance and everything else is going to then make it fly differently as well. So it's not just a stretch the model and paint a new sexy livery. It's going to be a complete rework. I'd imagine most of it's going to be based the same behind the scenes, Andrew, but then with the new Unreal Engine and everything else too. France City update is this month too, David's saying. Don't know. I didn't even know about that one, I don't think. Yeah, when the A300 comes, we'll get liveries painted for that, no doubt, and we will get an Osprey paint scheme ready for it too. Cargo as well, if that is an option. Definitely have that included too. That would be a good one, Ian. Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? Flying through cloud and having those wings disappear within the cloud. That would be stunning. Really, really cool. Let's have a quick look at the METAR at Pula. Winds 070 degrees 11 knots, variable between 040 degrees and 100 degrees. Cab OK, 26 degrees Celsius, dew point 11. That's a nice spread. QNH 1011, no significant changes expected. Yeah, Carlito, the picture of the engine, right? That's what we were just having a little look at. Unless there's something else entirely that I've missed. Afternoon, Andy. Let's have a look at the arrival then. So, charts. Doink. We're going to be flying in the ROTAR 2 Yankee arrival, which is going to bring it in over the coast, 122 degrees over ROTAR to Papa Lima 703. Then southbound 174 degrees track to Papa Lima 704. And then turning inbound to the airfield via GIKEB for the initial approach fix, 3,000 feet at or above, towards that Pula Airport and the Pula VOR 111.25. But today we're expecting the RMP runway 09 approach. A lot of information for a missed approach. RNAV, climb straight ahead to Cavran NDB there, 265, we'll tune that then to ADF1, then turn right to Papa Lima 501 at or above 1800, turn right Papa Lima 502, then right to GIKEB at 3000, so okay. Kind of go into a bit of a diamond, head back to GIKEB and join the hold. LDPL is Croatia, James. There's a warning there, a visual segment surface penetrated by trees. And there's a little dock there, look, LDPP, little water airport thing there. Very cool. Airport elevation, we'll round that up to 300 feet. Oh, actually, we'll round it to 250. Because the runway elevation is 168, that's interesting. So we'll think about the differential pressure. 168. Elevation 275, my goodness, we'll be landing uphill. That's quite an incline, isn't it? Jeez. This is interesting. All of those on the charts are trees, I think. And they've all got charted altitude tops. How big are the trees? My god. Helicopter activity, gusts, wind shear and turbulence can be inspected on final approach to or climb out from runway 09 in conditions of strong east-northeasterly winds. We've got east-northeasterly winds, 11 knots and variable, so we could expect a little bit of turbulence and wind shear and some gusts then perhaps. And there's that small little apron for us. So most likely we'll vacate at Delta. Long runway, look, 2,946. Yeah, there we go. That's that. So let's get that tuned in. RNAV 09 via GIKEB. ROTAR 2 Yankee. We'll have a quick check of plan. And we'll step through it. There we go. Papa Lima 704. GIKEB. Hold at GIKEB. Gelco, and then runway 09. Dock's triggered by the fire. Let's get rid of it, see if it changes anything. There we go, it's got rid of the hold at GIKEB. HK, welcome. How are you? Descent forecasts. Let's load that. Let's have a little look. Transition level by ATC. Transition altitude is 10,000. We'll go for 11,000 for the transition altitude then today. Like so. And the QNH that we had earlier on. Sam, no we're not, buddy. (1011). So that's all set. We'll go back onto map mode. Keep our heading in line now, we've done a little bit of a turn. HK, it's going to be a completely new title, which means we're just going to have to buy a new sim again, by the sounds of it. .177 nautical miles top of descent. Fixed rings, runway 09. Gelco is at 7 miles. We've got a freeware Pula that was created on flightsim.to. It's been out for about a week or so. Looks really, really good actually. There is a comment on it that says you need to have map replacement mods. Can't stand that. Don't like map replacement mods. I avoid them like the plague. So we're flying in without it. We'll see what happens. We'll do 6 and 10. Actually, no. We'll do 4 and 8. There we go. That'll do. Landing weight's going to be about 63,510 kilograms. It reckons we need flap 30 and auto brake 2 with both reversers. We'll set the landing altitude accordingly to 300. It says on Bass Airplane Toolbox. That'll do. So stand 2 or stand 4, Doc, right? Good to know, VATSIM. It's because it's written in big red writing at the top, isn't it, of that scenery. Yes, in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2028, if that was a thing, that I would expect we would have to buy everything all over again. Yeah, FIFA, COD, all of that regurgitates the same stuff every single year, doesn't it? Yet people lap it up.
Lufthansa 4 Kilo auf Runway 07. Danke fürs Warten. Guten Flug. Ciao.
No, kein Problem. Sugar Traffic Tomjet 5 Kilo Charlie taking off runway 07 by the Upton for hotel departure. Sugar Traffic.
Sugar Traffic line in on runway 07 for traffic. Runway 11 Charlie. Sugar Traffic. Quick mic check for left at 5.
5.
5. Ja, danke.
Was hast du gesagt?
GE Flexion, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing and flying along. I mean, in a way, we've kind of become paying beta testers for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 when you think about it. When Microsoft Flight Simulator was released, remember it was released early because of COVID, wasn't it? So perhaps this was the plan all along. perhaps Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 was going to be Microsoft Flight Simulator, but because of COVID they pushed it forwards and released what they had. Who knows? We'll never get the answer to that though. There's a conspiracy for you, MPS. Yeah, there's lots to look forward to with MSFS 2024. Newer Asobo engines. Stunning graphics, stunning missions as well by the looks of it. Got a TCAS blip there of an aeroplane, a couple of miles off to the north. That'll be them there, that line. Going opposite direction though. Zoom. And there's Rab. No, Zato. Yeah, but they released Microsoft Flight Simulator early, Avsim, because of COVID. They said that. Don't forget. I think it's going to be quite an impressive upgrade, Mayday. It's just going to be a question of how quick can all these developers tweak the files to make all of their add-ons work with it, to be honest. They haven't said every single add-on will work fine on 2024. They've not said that at all. They said virtually all. That's where we've got to be really specific with what we're saying here. They said virtually every add-on, virtually all add-on. So, but it's still dependent on those developers making it compatible. If they can't, or if those developers have now disappeared and fizzled away, cough Maca Simulations, where have you gone? Then some of these add-ons might actually disappear. Yeah, I think they have seen the dollar signs with the Xbox side of the sim, and they've gone, right, let's make all these mission packs, let's make all this crazy detailed mission-esque kind of things, and as SJ saying there, it's making it, in elements, more into a video game for that Xbox community. Yeah, Mayday, we went through that earlier on at the beginning of our kind of recap of all of this fairly breaking news. Miltech, FSIM Studios, Pyreek Devco, they've all come forward so far. Yeah, and they're still going to, well, they've said they're going to continue supporting the roadmap for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 living on a player, so it depends what's left on that roadmap when MSFS 2024 releases. But it's, yeah, they've said that it shares the same skies, so things like the weather engine and things, one would assume with that, and it is only an assumption, that perhaps a lot of it is mirrored. The servers, the architecture of the weather around us and everything else is kind of mirrored, and therefore it would likely be easy for them to maintain and support both at the same time, perhaps for at least the first few years. There's 1011, Minima, do. Mike, unfortunately they won't, because they've made a ton of money on Xbox as well. $560. Yeah, it's just gonna. That's one of the big questions, isn't it? How quick will those developers get the updates rolled out to support their add-ons in the new sim? Because we're all going to want to enjoy it. The ones that, you know, those of us who are going to purchase Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, like I'm probably going to, you know, it's how quick are we going to be able to enjoy fantastic aircraft like these in the new simulator? That is key, isn't it? And it's key to its success as well. No, I'm still on. Although Zato is just having issues getting disconnected regularly. PMDG are not wasting anybody's time. HK. That's, again, that's woefully inaccurate. They're not wasting anybody's time. Saying their PMDG are going to be given a run for their money. They're going to continue development like most other good developers. That's just how it is. They're not going anywhere. They are the best, if not one of the best developers in Microsoft Flight Simulation. It's important we kind of point that out, because, you know, even if it's a joke, as you're saying now, you might see that a couple of people will believe that, and that's where the clickbait videos, as we were discussing earlier, are incredibly unhelpful, because it's disappeared again. Look, oops. Yeah, I think a few people. Yeah, the servers are having a bashing. I'm still connected. I am worried about Mako Simulations Birmingham, Mako Simulations Manchester, because he's vanished by the looks. I mean, you just don't hear from Max at Mako Simulation anymore, do you? So, is that going to be a developer that just fizzles away and stays on Microsoft Flight Simulator? Doc, I don't think so. I can't get rid of it. Let's hope so. Let's hope it's going to be as easy as we just drag our community folder across. It's going to be wishful thinking, perhaps, but we'll find out in maybe around 12 months from now. If you click it 100 times, Doc, then it disappears. Mayday, no, he's an adult. He works. He's one guy. I've had, well, back in the day, I'd had really good conversations with him all that time ago. But yeah, I think, yeah, he's definitely in his 20s. Works in IT. Don't know where he's gone. I just hope he's going to come back soon. Doc's actually smashing it. He's counting as well. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. I've clicked 100 times, it's still there. I know it doesn't work, it was a joke. Oh, love it. I don't know how to get rid of it. It's a new feature that YouTube just made appear, and it was on my YouTube studio for a little while as well, obscuring most of the chat, and I couldn't get rid of it for a little while. Then over the last week it's kind of vanished, but it seems to have appeared on your screens. Maybe that's it, Andy. It's 250 times you have to click it to make it disappear. If you lost your count, you have to start again from 0. Dear me. Oh. Boiling in here, my goodness. Sometime in 2024 apparently, James. Ooh, look at the Alps. Have we flown over these with the RTX4090 yet? You know what we need to do at some point next week as well? Innsbruck. In fact, there's Innsbruck. Right, you know what? That's maybe something they can fix in MSFS 2024. The drone camera stops rotating itself. That alone will be a feature I'll be pleased about. That looks pretty snazzy. Mark, interest there, saying the heart thing goes away if you rotate the phone into landscape mode. That's good to know, I didn't know that. Sam, I'm not streaming tomorrow, no. But I'll be streaming the next day, Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday, possibly Thursday, not sure. It's the day before my mum's funeral on Thursday, so not sure how I'll be feeling. But I might do it as a perfect distraction. And then I'm hoping to stream on Sunday. Sunday's going to be a big one, by the way. So you mark your calendars for our live stream on Sunday. We might be going to Australia. If it all works out. Rab's back. Thanks, folks. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot going on, but I'm trying really hard, working really hard to still give you guys service as usual, and I hope that comes across as well. Yeah, and then on Tuesday, so next Tuesday, Loki's going in. My dog, he's going in for some major hip surgery. So then I might be MIA for about 2 weeks, roughly, or at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. He's going to need round-the-clock care whilst he starts to recover from a total hip replacement again, because it's his bionic hip. One of them has failed. So yeah, lots going on. It's going to be a busy few weeks. So it might mean that I'll miss AAU2's release, but I'll see what we can do. If I'm home and the missus is at home, then she can look after him while I can whack out a stream or create a video, something like that. But it will also potentially limit the length of the live streams as well. So it won't be 4-hour live streams, it might be an hour and a half or 2 hours instead, that sort of thing. So we'll play it by ear through the next month and a half. Cheers, Andrew. It was very sudden. It was very sudden. But Flight Sim is an incredible diversion away from it all. You guys flying along and making me laugh and keeping the spirits high is all very good. It's appreciated. What's the command for dock where you rotate the screen using the keyboard, or you do like Control Alt up arrow or something? Apparently that gets rid of the heart. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rab. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough because certainly doing this sort of thing, there is a risk you become irrelevant very quickly. So I'm very conscious that if I go away and disappear for 2 or 3 weeks, some people might go, "Wah, I'll go and watch someone else." And a lot of time and effort goes in behind the scenes to the channel. Andrew, nice, yeah. Make the most of it, buddy. Make the most of it, because certainly, I mean, my mum was only 60, incredibly young. Yeah, I mean, you just don't know how long you've got on Earth, do you, at the end of the day? Absolutely rab. Yeah, good old distractions. It's stuff you enjoy as well. You know, by doing things you enjoy, you're keeping your mind good, aren't you? They look bloody close, don't they? 40, 2020, they'll be passing each other. I have to actually start using the hashtag MSFS 2020 again now. Carlito. Well, I've decided I'm going to do my motorbike license as well, so I don't know how long that's going to last for, Carlito. Oh dear. Wow, that's incredible. Ooh, top of descent coming up. Right, we're going to go, what was it, auto brake? 2 with a stop margin of 720. So auto brake 2 set, but we are conscious, auto brake shown disarm, so we might have to use manual brakes for touchdown. We'll play it by ear. When we go gear down, we'll double check the auto brake, we'll try and reset if need be, but beyond that we might have to then use manual brakes only for that. Again, that's something we've got to really kind of bear in mind. And also, this has come up on us a lot quicker than I expected. So, we need Pula's VOR, treble 125, and their ADF 265. So that's set, that's set. We're doing an RNAV approach, LNAV and VNAV hopefully, we'll find out. Inbound 084. Pressure panels set. QNH minimums are set. We need the landing weights as well, so we have a quick poke at this. 63.1 is our current gross. We're going to go for 62.3. Lap 30, 145 at the 5 out 150. Have a good day at work, Andrew. Stay safe. Good point. Yeah, I mean, maybe we could check for failures in the CDU. I wasn't going to, but let's have a little look. Is it in options? No. No. Active 1. Hydraulic A system quantity refill required. Oh, that sounds more severe than it should be. Okay, so manual brakes. Bear with me, I'm knee deep in the QRH. We've got no master caution here though. If we had hydraulic issues properly, we would have low pressure warnings there, or the pumps overheating as an option. Having a little look at the QRH at the minute, so that would be a loss of system A. So that would be flight control switches going to standby rudder, and then we'd be looking at what's inoperative. If autopilot A's failed, or if the flight spoilers have failed, ground spoilers in our alternate brake systems, we'd be having to actually go through a lot of stuff. This is where the QRH comes in really handy. Yes, we don't have any of those, so it's a developing problem effectively. It's not. This is kind of the airplane now beginning to warn us that we are getting low on hydraulics and system A, and therefore we need it replenishing. So with that in mind, auto brake disarmed. Yeah, the fuel's gone up in the centre tank bizarrely, but it was shown 0. So our checklist for this, we're not doing the low pressure, that was me just checking through those, all this low pressure stuff. Auto brake disarm. Hold on, what did I just click? Smoke fire fumes. No. There we go. So we're in flight. Go to step 3. Step 3, auto brake select switch off, then reselect. We did that earlier on. Night Gav, have a good one, buddy. Auto brake disarm light remains illuminated, or it's illuminated again in bold. Auto brake select switch off. Use manual brakes for landing. Go to step 5. Checklist complete except deferred items. Descent checklist. Pressurization landing altitude set to 300. Recall checked. Auto brake off. Landing data. VREFs and minimums are all set as well there. QNH1011. Barrow for minimums. 560. Pressure altitude. VREF 30. Flap 30 145 for the approach. Add the 5150. Approach briefing's been completed. Altimeters and nav aids are set. Cabin secure for landing, and then we'll work through the rest. So I'm going to leave that up. But brake pressure indicator 0 psi isn't an issue, because on the right hand side of the screen it's just a bit low. It's on the lower end of the green tier, but it's still green, so that's fine. Note, if hydraulic system indications are normal, brake operation is unaffected, so we should still be able to brake manually. I mean, that's a big poop moment there. Look, that next one down on the list. Landing gear lever jammed in the up position. Step 1, change your trousers. Step 2, don parachute. There you go. System A, quantity 72%. That's pretty low. Might do a pan for this. LDPL, we don't have any. Is this the point at which we pull the emergency gear lever again? Yeah, what do you reckon? Pan worthy? Inbound? It is, isn't it? It's low hydraulics. That in itself is a cautionary thing. So Gexy for 3000. Let's finish setting that. See, last time we had that, we just reset something. I can't remember what it was, but we had something set, and it remained on until we fixed out the click switch thing. But this is actually a failure. We've got random failures still on, service-based failures still on inside the air, inside the PMDG 737, and that's why I always fly with a QRH. for the 737-800. You never know what you're going to expect. The pressure's a little low as well, isn't it? It's not maintained 3000. I'm leaving the centre tanks off because it's pointless. Yes, as we're descending and that fuel density is kind of changing the quantity inside the tank here, it's showing it's gone from 0.00 now to 0.07, 007. I'm just going to leave it off. There's no point even fiddling around with that. We don't need to use them. 40, 60 odd miles left. If we had ATC, then I would drop them a little ding ding to say, hello, I have a problem. Zada in Croatia, they've got tower online, but we haven't got any at Pula. Currently as well, actually, by the way, we are over, I don't know if we can see it, we're about to pass over Venice. There it is. Let's go outside. Meow. I think that's the first time flying over Venice in the RTX4090. Wow. Very nice. Where'd you get the QRH Sussling? Just Google for it. Zagreb doc, thanks. Yeah, just Google it, 737 QRH, and you'll find a number of them available online for you to find. If you're enjoying today's live stream as well, don't forget, give us a thumbs up as well. 47 likes so far. See if we can get it a little higher, that'd be great. Dan, I mean, I'd hold off now because I don't even know what the minimum requirements would be. I would imagine the 5000 series are going to be working quite nicely as well. No, I'm not going to squawk 7700, James, because if I do that, New Sky will immediately recognise that I'm in an emergency and void all of the scores. So we're going to continue as normal. We might declare a pan anyway. Winds now 070 degrees, 11 knots, cav OK, 26 degrees Celsius, 12 degrees Celsius for the dew point, QNH 1011, and no significant changes, still jolly good. I'll be alright, Sam. Just gonna have to keep a real good eye on it. I'm actually gonna leave that page up actually. I know they say get rid of the lower page, but that's got very key indications for us. If it gets too low, like you're saying hello to you all, then we're going to get a low pressure light illuminate. We've either got hydraulics for electric 1 or electric 2 will fail, or engine 1 or engine 2 will fail for hydraulics. So depending on what then fails, if it does fail, hoping it won't, it will then decide how we manage it based on the QRH actions in the checklist. Yeah, brakes are off, brake pressure is green, auto brake off, manual brakes for landing. We've briefed for the missed approach, we'll pop the VORs on as well. We're going to leave that on actually, 1228. And then we're going to pop seatbelt signs on early. We'll advise the crew. At least at BA it was 3 or 4 or 5 chimes it might have been. Can't remember now, I'm trying to remember my crew training. But yeah. It was a certain amount of dings in the flight deck. From the flight deck into the crew at the back would basically be a pre-note for the cabin manager to urgently attend the flight deck for a emergency briefing. Dan, yeah, that was it. Hit the bump on takeoff in Brazil, didn't we? And we had the auto brake disarm failure, but I think that reset, didn't it? That went away once we had gear down, right? Can't remember. I feel like we were able to reset that time, but this one's an actual hydraulic depletion. But interestingly enough, at Bristol, it thought we hit a bump, and it recorded it as a landing on Balanta. Who knows? We're at ROTAR now anyway, so runway 09, rotor 2 Yankee, RNAV approach. That was it, Dan. Pula traffic, pan, Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo. Inbound flight level 120 for 3000 over ROTAR. ROTAR 2 Yankee arrival expecting RNAV approach 09er reporting hydraulic issues. Pula traffic will report final. So because we're on Unicom, I've done I kind of pre-noted Pula traffic before the pan, because that way people flying around will know that actually we've got a problem, but it is related to our arrival in Pula. So somebody flying into Zadar further down the coast will think, oh, thank goodness we're not flying near him. Ah, our first pan on the channel. D-Pod got the same as well, interesting, so that's a little bump in the runway that's developed. Crew transition. I'm going to screenshot that and I'll put that onto Balanta as well. And through 10,000 lights and signs. Final chime for the crew. That's all good. Keep a quick check of that again. That's all fine still. Pressure panel's good. We'll do another reset. If we had a problem with the hydraulics, we would get master caution. Hydraulics there illuminated as well as a function or as a problem reported to us. And if it was even worse, we might even get then the fire warn or something. It was all going Pete Tong. Right, anyway, cautionary pan inserted. Missed approach briefed. We have just got to remember we're landing with manual brakes only, basically preempting an auto brake failure due to low hydraulics. And somebody remind me as we get closer as well to check that as we get closer. Certainly as well, actually, when we after landing, we're going to want to check the hydraulics. But these come in at Heathrow all the way, all the time, by the way. So even the other day, we had an aircraft landing with hydraulic problems, and that was declared as emergency. And it would have been something similar to this: auto brake disarm indicating a hydraulic pressure failure. This would be a pan because it's a situation that doesn't need urgent assistance, but it's something that we require additional care for. Can't remember the exact wording now between pans and maydays, but you catch the old drift. Spoilers. Let's bring that speed down. Thanks, Doc. Hopefully we don't come across any Peruvian firefighters on arrival. What happened to that mod actually? There was a mod, wasn't there, with firefighters that went zipping onto the runway behind you after an emergency. Right, so charts ready. QRH, one section of the screen, charts on another. Cabin's secure. Gonna prep the rest now. In fact, we're not gonna just yet. Ground speed mini. Papa Lima 703. Gexy's next.
Freeware traffic EC72 is an A319, approximately 40 miles to the northwest of the airport, landing on the ROTAR to Yankee, arrive on 3,000 feet by Gexy, then expecting the RMP 09 approach.
Depends on the system, James. But we haven't got such a low pressure. Oh look, we are actually losing hydraulics. Get rid of the music. Certainly that pace of music as well. It doesn't help. Where's the emoji for a worried face? $560, 3,000 for the reset for a missed approach, but otherwise down to 560. I'll set 1,000. I'll have VNAV arms, VNAV Papa, I'll have FMC speed. Matthew, I hope so. Well, I hope not, rather. Spoilers retracted. Spoilers armed. Engine start levers both onto continuous. Quick check of the pressure panel again for the hydraulics, and the pressurization panel is looking good. Final ding ding dingaling. That's all good. They're set. Right. Flap 5. I'm going to get the flaps out early. Hydraulic pressure's just increased. Back again slightly to 72%. System A is the one we're watching. We'll be fine. I'm not anticipating any carnage. 17 miles to Pula, so I'm keeping the speed up to 210. There's the airport off in the distance, actually. Pula traffic, pan, Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo is turning final. RNAV 09, UNH 1011, 17 DME. Matthew can't. Auto brake's not set correct. We have got an auto brake disarm failure due to low hydraulic pressure that's developed. Speed's good for flap 10. There's the airport. I feel like I have to concentrate even more now. But in the meantime, passengers are blissfully unaware. That the pilots are now flying into an element of redundancy within the plan. $190, set 180. Yeah, I just want to get down to 2,500 though, Doc. By Gelco, certainly. Actually, we'll just do 800 for good. 600, then we can capture. See, so that's all good there, all set, that's fine. Hydraulic pressure 72, still. Oh my god, system B's now failed, down to 72%. That was at 90 a moment ago. This is developing actually quite quickly. Excuse me while I go and poo myself. Flap 10 currently, no brakes, no auto brake then. Definitely a hydraulic failure here. We've got a hydraulic leak, in fact, I think. Let's go 160. Keep an eye on the hydraulic pressure now as we lower the gear. Pressure's going up. System A. Back to 92. Order brakes reset. I'm not trusting it.
2,500.
Okay, we're on final approach now. That's all set. So we're going to land manual brakes anyway, even though that's now reset. I'm not trusting it because system B is showing 72% all of a sudden. Ooh, that was bumpy.
Imperial traffic EC72 turning final, runway 09 at RMP approach.
6 miles.
Approximately 16 miles to go. We'll give plenty of space to the emergency aircraft. Imperial traffic.
Flap 30, green, gear down, 3 green and locked. Speed brake arm, that's the rest set. $3,000 set for the missed approach. My throttles. My goodness, this turbulence in the wind shear, look. And what do we want? 150. This is actually really quite bumpy, isn't it? My goodness. Tempted to add 10. Pula traffic, Pan Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo is short final 09.
1,000.
Check.
Pula traffic,
What a break off.
1123, 5,700 for 2,500, we're on right base, RMT 09.
It's bumpy. 14 knots headwind, slight crosswind of a couple of knots from the left. Oh my goodness.
Virgin 383, what are your intentions?
Sudden bit of sink there.
Because you just cut me off.
400.
My apologies, Virgin 383 is inbound Papa Lima 704, inbound for the on-up approach runway 09. Currently 18 miles from 09.
300.
Seems a little high for this RNAV approach. I haven't reset the
Sync rate.
flight directors.
Sync rate. 50.
Looking ahead.
30. 20.
Flare. Hold the flare. Reverse.
Ryanair 1123.
Green. Noses down. Manual brakes.
Because the Virgin, he gave me 0 spacing, so we're gonna turn north.
Brake pressure's green.
Negative. If Ryanair 1123 wants to continue on track, the Virgin is at fault here, and I'm happy to do an extended downwind or just do an extended base or something to let you go in first.
Pretty good. I already turned north. I'm just gonna turn back around. No worries.
Okay, many thanks for that, and my apologies.
There's the touchdown though. 209 foot per minute, right on the centre line, and on the touchdown zone. I'll take that. A little bit rough though. On the arrival. We'll vacate Delta 4, stand 4. Either of those. Ramp 4 GA large, no follow me.
Pure traffic EG72 on a 5 mile final, runway 09.
Tomjet 6 Tango Kilo is vacating at Delta.
Runner 123, 20 mile final on
84 and 68 system pressure for B now. Let's see what happens when the flaps go back up. And the spoilers get retracted. Let's get APU fired up as well. Trying to do this with the Tobii eye tracker, actually really difficult. Jesus Christ, you know what, screw it, I'll disable it again. What a mess. Utterly useless sometimes. So that's all good, that's all set. POS lights back to steady. Pop the isolation valve open, that's all good still. Probe heats off and transponder. Standby. Master caution. Anti-ice, that's because of the APU related. Okay, that in case we get another one. Yeah, very small airport this, but a really nice bit of freeware, which you can download from flightsim.to. Stand 4 is over here somewhere. We don't have a GSX profile for it, unfortunately. Here comes the first pilot in. EasyJet. Oh, big bump on the runway. He's down. Nice touchdown. What does old Trump say? Good job.
Alright, Ryanair 1123, now we're too close to Osprey 121 Charlie, so we're going to once again head south and then we'll turn back.
Apologies that I did try and help with the speed there, Osprey 121 Charlie.
No worries, we'll try to get a little more spacing for you.
We'll get some tech, some maintenance out here. Michael, thanks buddy. It was always going to be fine.
Yeah, we can do that. We're slow. We got that. Thank you.
A couple of parking spaces. Look at this. Really nicely made scenery. This with the certainly the textures on the tarmac, particularly. Actually, quite nice. But yeah, welcome to Pula, folks. Look at that. Snazzy. those off.
Liner 1122, road direct GIKEB.
Ah, Carlito, good to know. Following the marshal's guidance.
Overhead upper limit 703 to 10 knots.
738 markings there. See where it stops us. There's no custom profile for this. Brakes. Park brake is set. Pressure is good. That's all looking fine. Engines off. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Parked a bit too far on askew, but it was precisely exactly where he told me to be, and I'm on the line. Just not on the right, the exact 737 line. Oops, wrong double click at a button there. Just walked off in disgust. Anti-collision lights off. Let's go to ground services, chocks. So, we also want to go to ground maintenance now. And we're going to service the hydraulic fluid. And while we're at it, we'll service the engine oil.
Runner 1123, 12 mile final, RNAV 09.
Yeah.
Pula traffic on 3121 Charlie, 5 mile final 09. Pula traffic.
Maybe we have to request maintenance first.
And Pula traffic on 2472 is 15 mile final for runway 07.
Here he is.
09.
Robert Randazzo. And his set of spanners. What happened? I broke it. Here's the tech log with some scribble in it. Short final. It's a Virgin. Please. Oh, just made the threshold there. My goodness.
Oscar 121 Charlie Virgin, please expedite. You cut in at a 2 mile final.
Brilliant. Yeah, he's very close. Can't cut in on final like that. So if I was whoever that is, I would just land anyway. Not gonna go around for stuff like that. Not fair on you, is it?
For the traffic Virgin please vacated runway 09.
Hydraulic fluid. Maybe this is gonna fix it. Unless we have to do it through the failures menu, perhaps. Oh well, I'll let it think about it for a moment. Whilst we fire up GSX and begin deboarding. Deboarding requested. That's quite a bumpy runway as well, look.
RNAV 09.
Oh yes, we have to finish New Sky as well. I'll get that ready. Once he's down, we'll have a little look at that. Very nice. Landing on kind of a bump like at Bristol actually, so it can throw you off, but incredibly well handled there. Zoom 2. Okay, let's have a look at New Sky then. Great little airport this for Freeware. Definitely worth downloading it, folks, and having a little fly in and out. There is what we've done today, Bristol to Pula. There is a scheduled flight, scheduled service for Osprey now generated for this, so you can fly the 737-800 back to Bristol if you want to. What is it going to be? 9.96 off centre line deviation. That's going to be a map issue, isn't it, by the looks of it? Can't get around that, but otherwise we got away with it. Great touchdown score. $19,000 profit, my goodness. Scheduled services offered so much more profit for the airline than others. Wesley, hello to you as well. Been with us for 28 months. I did miss it. It was right on landing, sorry. Saying just in time for landing, joined to flex the 28-month milestone. Go butter. Go, go, go. There's the big old Virgin landing. The windsock's the wrong way around, look. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, Bandit Flight Simulator, they actually caused the auto brake failure. So we ran through during the cruise. We ran through the QRH and followed that precisely. Even though then it eventually reset, we weren't going to trust it, so we just used manual brakes instead. I think it's linked to the bump we hit on the runway at Bristol, which triggered it, because we had a similar thing, somebody else mentioned, we had a similar thing at Brazil actually for our big group flight. It then reset itself for the next turnaround. That was a fantastic touchdown. Just rub my eyes with chili and make sure I'm actually seeing it's a Ryanair livery. That was incredibly well executed. That runway is so bumpy. Look at that. Anyway, it's uphill as well. Next one's coming in hot and fast. Tomjet 136, I think this is. Which is the last one in, I believe. No, this is Osprey 2472 followed by Tomjet 136. This is Ian. Super late for him in Perth. Yeah, you can fly back now with Osprey Airways back to Bristol with Osprey 531 or Osprey 521 as the flying number, I think. Pula to Bristol. It would be a terrible time to fall asleep now, Rab, wouldn't it? Waking up, it's like being on the motorway and you wake up in a different lane, but instead your aeroplane's not pointing at the runway anymore. Great touchdown. There we are, Flight Sim's best livery. We've got one more coming in. I just want to punt across and have a little look at the airport. Yeah, this is really nice. I want to grab a picture of these punters getting off as well, because they go in and out like underneath here. Plus 30, interesting. Unless they walk.
Airport traffic, Osprey 2472 has exited the active runway at Delta, taxiing to the gate. Pull the traffic.
Aaron with a fresh delivery of German beer. Here they go. Yeah, for a free airport, very unique. Certainly a part of the world that we've not explored enough because of the limited amount of scenery. But you've got Zadar and a few other places, but it's nice to have Pula. It's one of those popular tourist destinations from a little while ago. But that's the main terminal building, and they've even got a little bar, so we can sit up here. We can look at all the planes. Ooh. What else have we got? No interior, that's fine though. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. There we go, that's who's created it. Mystery Bytes. That's the developer. Yeah, quite good, isn't it? For a bit of freeware. Not mega amazing, but certainly all you need. But one more on final now, so let's not waste any time. A couple of hangars over there. I wonder if they're like Croatian Air Force or something. Dobie, that's fair enough. Where's the Tomjet? I'm conscious I don't want to miss his landing. He's on short final. Diegeman flying in. Last man.
Full traffic, Tomjet on Provisional final, Renee 09.
There we go. And then we'll go and have a look at those boards again for you, Doc. Yeah, that's a good point, Rap, yeah. Save up for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Free bus is coming. Wonderful weather, isn't it? Clear skies. Another contrail up there. The pilot zooming overhead, heading southeast. And our final pilot is about to appear. Where is he? Right in the centre of the screen. It's going to pop any moment. So he was there all along. $27 for you, Rab, in Scotland. Same here, actually. I was thinking it would have been hotter south, so I was going to top trumps you. I was going to say there he is, but I can just about see right there, tiny little white dot. So when you zoom in, there he is.
Pilots to boarding start.
I can say it with certainty now. Yeah, visible, that's a good sign. 26 degrees for MPS Gaming in Gothenburg, very nice. Stockholm Arlanda doesn't seem very far out now either. Somebody mentioned earlier on that, is it Marcus Nyberg, the developer, shared some images of that. Sounds like that's gone into beta from what they were saying earlier on in the live chat. That's just popped into my head as something that I remembered actually. Yeah, that's it, Andy. That's usually my luck. I'll go and light the barbecue and then stand outside again in a thunderstorm. Ooh. Ooh. Definitely a bit of wind shear and a little bit of turbulence on final there. We had it. See the aeroplane there getting bounced about. Doing a good job of holding that stable. Yeah, the next stream is going to be on Wednesday. We're back in the ATR 72600. I'm hoping we'll have the special edition Osprey Regional Anzac livery for the ATR, which is truly stunning. I'm hoping that will be available for you guys to see whilst I fly around New Zealand. We're going to be heading out of Auckland down to Napier, the North Island, and then we're going to be zipping down to Christchurch as well, because I've not actually explored New Zealand since I've had the new PC delivered. So looking forward to seeing actually what it's going to look like and what it's going to offer. What a screenshot that's going to be. I'll wait for the last guy to park and then I'll take a screen grab of everybody. Doc wanted to see these billboards. Want a nice vacation? Take a visit to Pula. Revenge, Fontana, Transavia. There's obviously some Transavia ops, I'm assuming from Rotterdam or something here. Fontana, Revenge, and Pula again. They're very nicely detailed, aren't they? Look at that. Nah. Big old A330 parked up there. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you to those of you who hit the like button so far today. It's been quite fun, actually. A little bit of small bit of stress, a little bit of troubleshooting to do with the auto brake failure before arrival, but otherwise uneventful and very enjoyable. Definitely recommend checking out this scenery if you've not downloaded it already. It is freeware on flightsim.to if you are wondering where to get it. And yeah, I hope to see you guys all join us on Wednesday the 14th of June for another live stream back in beautiful New Zealand with the RTX4090 for the very first time. So looking forward to seeing what that's going to all look like. But in the meantime, enjoy your couple of days here in Pula. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for taking part in all the discussions throughout the flight, hitting the like button, hitting subscribe. Thanks to all our channel members, and I'll see you next time. Take care.